Born to follow the claret and blue way. From Upton Park, where our spirit stays, to London Stadium, we sing today. Pie, mash and liquor, proper fare, football and family all doing our share. Community, passion, pride, side by side. West Ham forever, East and pride. Hosted by Papa, Dougie and Stu. Three proper hammers, tried and true. West Ham 1895, West Ham 1895. Claret and blue, we're alive. Come on you Irons, come on you Irons, come on you Irons. Come on you Irons. Dougie says hard work beats talent. When talent doesn't work, Papa shouts, what the hell's wrong with you? Where's the testicular fortitude? Stu kicks off, shaking his head. That performance boils my piss. He said, no sugar coating, no fancy spin, just proper football, thick and thin. Whoa. West Ham 1895, West Ham 1895. Claret and blue, we're alive. Come on you Irons, come on you Irons, come on you Irons.
Well, boys, good afternoon to West Ham United 1895. Martin's intro again. Hopefully, I got it a bit better that time, Martin. I know he's going to rush me and go, you paused it again. How are you today, boys? How are you, Stu?
I'm all tickety-boo.
How are you, Martin?
Tired, busy day, mate, but yeah, can't complain, my man.
Yeah, I agree. Guys, we did a great video last time, and we was all sort of a little bit ranty about what had gone on with the fake hammers, as we called it. And great response to this video, by the way. Great comments. Please continue to put the comments on, and please come on the show. I've had a bit of response privately from people that said to me, Dougie, you and Stu get a bit hung up on the 80s, mate. He went, there's been a lot more players that knew what West Ham is. And when I say I knew what West Ham is, people that are proud to play for the badge, people that know what the fans have to pay for the tickets. So what we've done is, Stu has made a list, and this is just another around about 25, 30 names that we're just going to add that got West Ham. So if you think you know any more, shut your eyes, imagine that shirt hanging up on the peg, the name in the background, and the old West Ham badge on the front. Run through the names you put down, Stu.
Oh, you're joking. Right. Julian Dix, obviously. Ludo McCloskey, Ian Bishop, DiCanio, Joe Cole, Colton Cole, Thomas Repka, John Moncur, Kevin Nolan, Andy Carroll, Les Seeley, Cresswell, Collins, old Pele, Ginger Pele himself, Zamora, Declan Rice, because you can't leave that man off, even though he's a gooner now. Fornals, Lanzini, Winston Reid, of course. Nolan Harewood, what a good man. I really like that man. Stuart Pearce, Ruddock, Mark Noble. This one's going to upset a few people. Thomas Soucek, Soufal, Ben Rama, Craig Bellamy, obviously Ballon Dawson, Dean Ashton, and of course Mr. Miggy Antonio himself.
Now, I've got to say, Martin, that there are many more to add to that list. Yeah, but Stu and I, by the way, we were like 80s, late 70s, 80s babies going into night, where we went everywhere. We went home, we went away. So obviously we sort of watched the players we watch. I'm sure there's more names, Martin, but the reason we did this first show, Martin, was to prove that there was people. I remember Pablo Fornals crying one game when Moyes had absolutely ruined him. I remember Paqueta pulled him out of an end of season dinner when Moyes literally embarrassed him. So there's thousands of not thousands, but I'm sure there's probably in the 100 that really did get West Ham way. Just try and explain what I'm trying to explain to people. I'm probably saying it wrong. What it is to get West Ham and what the fans see that our players are really giving them utmost.
Well, it's funny that list that was reeled off, and it wasn't until I sat here listening to the list I thought to myself, there's one key name left off in there, and that's what you mentioned straight away, Dougie. Pablo Fornals.
No, his name was on there.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
You know, it's people that take the time to understand the club, understand the history that we've got, to buy into the history. It's people that put on the colours and wear it with pride and put in effort. The kind of thing that you don't see from Jean-Claude Todibo, Nicholas Fulkrug. There are so many people over the years. You could equally do a list of people that don't get the West Ham. You know, do not care. They're there, the money mercenaries. What Stewie said about Thomas Souček, or somebody said about it's going to get a few people's backs up, but Thomas Souček gets West Ham, and you know, I'm one who openly criticise his footballing ability, especially now that he's got older. But when it comes to a human being who loves the club, gives his all, you can't say anything bad about him as an ambassador for the club, because it's all about West Ham. He loves the club. He really does. So that's the difference, mate. He's someone who gets the club, for me, who works hard and understands what the fans want to see.
That's exactly, and that's what Ron Greenwood said. If you go back to the West Ham way, Ron Greenwood's words was, the West Ham way is the fans might not always get the results they want, but they know that everyone on that pitch would give their heart out for the fans and play their best. I mean, Vladimir Soufal used to come on the bus to training. These kids played at Hackney Wick, you know, when they played Sunday League football. He's someone that bought into the coach. I remember when they said Souček trained on potato salad. Do you remember? I think Mark Noble took him for pie mash. Do you remember there was a video where he's sitting there having his pie mash, looking at this radioactive liquor that we all love. By the way, boys, mine is 1 and 2, pie upside down. What's yours, Sue?
2 and 2. Pies upside
Martin?
down.
2 and 2 all day long.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. Yeah, I mean, someone went the other week and told me there was chili vinegar. There was never chili vinegar when I used to do it.
Chili vinegar, plenty of pepper. Sweet.
Guys, I've got to say, when we signed Sebastian Haller, I was excited, right? I do think Martin was right what he said when he said to me, he fed on scraps. Mikel Antonio quoted this in one of his podcasts with Callum. He said, "Well, you're a striker for West Ham. You have to survive on scraps. You have to make things happen." As we knew with Antonio, he ran the lines, and he done it fantastically. By the way, I think he's actually a West Ham legend, and I think the only person that did that before him, that actually tried on his own, which is another winger we made into a striker, was Marko Arnautovic. Now we've just signed this Joel Piroe. I hope I've said his name right. I've not worked out how to get the little dots above his name, by the way. So if anyone can tell me how to do it on the computer. Piroe.
Just
I'm going to get it all wrong. Now, I've got to tell you guys, my wife, I met my wife in Benidorm in 96, and she's from up that area. Unfortunately for me, I got a bit drunk and she put date rape drug in my drink, and she ended up getting pregnant. So we ended up... by the way, living together. Now, she's got loads of friends, being a Leeds fan. And if you can see that badge there, she's also stuck a Leeds badge amongst my West Ham and put Leeds. Well, I messaged a load of Leeds guys yesterday and I said, tell me something about Mr. Piroe. I'm just going to read out 2 or 3. This is Lee, by the way. Thank you, Lee. Massive Leeds fan. He put, Piroe was brilliant for us, mate, getting us out the championship. Scored some great goals. All-round good player in the championship. He didn't mind him, to be honest, but he was good enough. He wasn't good enough for Premier League. He seemed to get caught out or was a bit non-existent. Championships, he's a championship player. He played in the right place with the right tactics. He would score lots of goals for you. And he isn't an injury player. He had a few injuries, but he was always ready to step up and play for the squad. We called him Mr. Consistent. Now, that is someone that we want, weren't it? Yeah. This was Dave. My mate Dave, and he put, he will score you at least double figures for you in the championship. That's the word that I like. I love consistency in any player. I'll just do one more. This is my mate Paul, very good friend of mine, Mr. Taylor. Great finisher, mate, if he gets the service. Now, Martin, this was your baby yesterday about how we get this. I will come to you in a minute, Stu. Just give me Martin then. Come on. if this bloke is a great scorer, like they're telling me these blokes, they said he won the Golden Boot in the championship. I think he got when Leeds went up. I think he got 19 or 20 goals. What we got to do, Martin, to get him the service, because we now know we've got a player that isn't injury plagued, isn't going to be a big baby and salt if he don't get the. And he got the number 9 shirt, by the way. What we got to do for him, Martin, to get these goals?
The same that we should have done for Sebastian Haller, the same that we should have done for every striker we've had, given bloody service. You know.
Yeah, but come on, Martin. Now we've got to tell us what we've got to do. It's no good saying how we got to play and who we got to play to get the ball over. I think he's one of those players that likes to feet or in the air.
Imagine you're talking to Nuno, Martin. Explaining it to Nuno.
There'll be blood and sawdust all over the place, mate. That's the place. It's simple. Piroe isn't someone that is going to be dropping deep. He's not going to be making things happen. He's somebody that is going to be working in that box. He's great with his left foot and his right foot and his nut. So, you know, it's the same old thing that we complained about. I said to you before, we could have Erling Haaland up top. It wouldn't make a fucking difference for us because no one gets the service. So, you know, I don't like playing with 2 defensive midfielders. I'd rather have 1 defensive midfield, 2 box-to-box. Our wingers, and Jared Bowen specifically, needs to stop cutting in on his left foot and going for glory all the fucking time. He needs to be coming down, getting crosses into that box. It's all about getting service in there. Now, Solomon had a really great relationship with Piroe. That was fruitful. If we can get that again, that man will give him service. And he likes attacking players. We saw it briefly in the Burnley game. He's not frightened to take a player on. He's good with both his feet. He's tricky. And if he can get to that byline and get a cross in, Piroe's somebody who's going to be finishing.
Yeah, I agree. Stu, listen, you're one who called out the weekend. You said like that Scholes and a few other players got some stick for the way they played. Now, you said to me last year Bowen should have been dropped quite a few things. I think the only way we're ever going to stop Bowen cutting in is playing him on the left, Stu. I can never see Jared Bowen playing the way he is. How do you see we're going to get the best out of this Joel Piroe, Stu?
That is exactly what Martin said. He had a good relationship with Solly, and it's going to be Solly that's going to be supplying him because you're not going to. Bowen ain't going to go on the left because if that's the case, what happens to Solly? No, you can't do that, right? So Bowen's going to have to stay on the right. Bowen ain't going to cross the ball in because that's not his forte. He can't cross with his right foot. It's as simple as that. He can't do it. He's never been able to do it. He should have stayed behind when he was younger after training and practice. But he's never done it, okay? Bowen's forte is cutting inside and whether there's a gap or not, hitting that ball with his left boot and hoping that it's going to thread its way through and into the back of the net, which it does, a fair amount. I'll give him his due, it does. But he's not going to get no service from Bowen, I'm afraid. And unfortunately, as I said before, Bowen now he's 30 years old. Is he 30 now or he's 30 now or something? Right. He's lost a turn of pace now. His career ain't going like that anymore. It's done that, and now his career is going to start nosediving. It's going to start going down. Don't get me wrong, I love Bowen, and I'll always be grateful to Bowen. But as I've said time and time again, no sentimentality in football. You can't have it. When a player starts losing his turn of pace and he starts generally not performing how he used to, it's time you start looking elsewhere for a replacement.
But Stu, may I just help him out here, right? Listen, we all love Jared Bowen, and if you ask any team in the championship, and they all think like he's the superstar championship. With Bowen, if we don't get an overlapping fullback, right, there's only one thing he can do, right? He's going to have to cut in. We need an overlapping fullback. But what I'm saying is, over time, people know he's going to cut in, and it should be easy for people to start defending against him.
But we've only got one fullback that's going to be able to overlap. And that's Walker Peters. I mean, yeah, Veltman can play there, but Veltman ain't going to be quick enough to overlap, right? So all we got is Walker Peters. And if we have all these players going out that I think is going to be going out, we are in dire doo-doo unless they bring in at least another 6 or 7 players before the transfer window closes. We are going to be down to absolutely nothing. We're going to be talking since January, off the top of the head, we're going to be losing about 15, 16 players since January. Right. And
so that brings me to my next point.
And we're not replacing them. We need to replace players, and we need players in to cover positions. We haven't got these players to cover positions as well. I mean, as one of my biggest bugbears as it is puppers, square pegs in round holes. No fucking no. It's a square peg in a square hole, a round peg in a round hole. Don't try and force something into it.
I understand what you're saying, but look, do you know what I said earlier on when we did the last show, right? Because I didn't realise at the time we was going to lose Earthy. I said to you, at the end of the season, maybe a week later, he should have got everyone in and sat them down. I know they're going on leave, and said to them, look, if you don't want to be here, be honest with me. Be honest and say you don't want to be here. But I don't know whether Nuno takes any interest in our academy players or the person that comes down and says, look, I think he's good enough to go into the team. If he knew, right, if he knew the likes of Potts, this is Nuno's mind, not ours, right? If he knew that he wasn't going to rate Potts, he wasn't going to rate Earthy, he should have gone into Sullivan the end of the season or Kretinsky or whoever's there and gone, look, I'm sorry, these lads ain't good enough. I want them moved on early. Yeah, and then we would have known how many more spaces. Not getting rid of George Earthy to Reading like he did, when was it? One day this week. When we've only got a week left, a week and a bit, is it, of the transfer window? I don't understand it. Exactly. So even if it weren't Nuno's, ever in charge of the should have come up and gone, look, we've tried. We know it's less than 1% make it, right? We know that. But they should have done that already, Stu, and they should have said, look, these 6 ain't good enough. It's horrible. And it's psychologically, it's destroyed it. I've done a show with James on this. It destroys. Some people never get over it. There's only Palace. They're the only team that will give the people that they've rejected will give them training for 2 years, and I think that should be brought for any other subject.
This is
what I'm saying is, why didn't he do it, Martin? Why has he left it this late and then started going right? Potts out. None of us. I think Earthy was a shock.
I can't understand why he got rid of Potts. That just beggars belief. That one when he's championship.
Martin, why did he get rid of Earthy?
He obviously don't fancy him.
Yeah, but why didn't he say that beginning of the season, Martin? Listen, he's the manager, whether we like it or not, right? I don't want him there. Stu don't want him there. You don't want him there. He should have gone in at the end of whoever he's doing with the academy, unless he's got no connection with it at all. Or a Noble's supposed to be more this year. Right? He should have said, no, I want rid of these. Find them somewhere to go. What's done my head in that he's left it this late to start saying to get rid of them. It don't make no sense, Martin.
But Dougie, the problem is, I'm going to challenge you personally here, yeah? Can you remember the last season where we were getting ready for the start of the season and we had all our ducks in a row and we were ready before the first game of the season kicked off?
No.
Well, we know why, Martin. We know why, because Mr. Tight Pants wants to get his Green Shield stamps and his nectar points and try and buy as late as possible, and try and get the price down and down and down. Look, that's one of the reasons what happened with Pablo, because we could have got Pablo for something like nearly, I think it was 8 million less if we'd have paid the money up, because we didn't. We paid bits and then we paid overpriced for him. Yeah, but I know what you're saying and I understand that. But we are in money issues. But with the youngsters, we could have given them a chance to look round for other clubs. We could have got their parents, their scouts, their managers, their agents, whoever. By doing it this late, it's leaving us a lot less time to bring other people in. I'm not saying we're not going to bring other people in. I'm just talking about future planning and having some infrastructure. He knew at the end of last year who he thought was going to be good enough or weren't. And that's all I'm saying. I can't be Nuno's mind. But it's happened for years, Martin.
But it's only got to this point where somebody's shown concrete interest. We don't know whether Earthy was somebody that he was planning on keeping around in the first place. They may have had this conversation and he may have said, actually, you know what, Earthy, I don't really fancy him. If we can get a bit of money for him, let's get him gone. We
want him here for pre-season, Martin. We want the connection before pre-season. And we want the continuity, the same players in the team, get our best 11 and wherever we can.
He hasn't been playing. He hasn't been in any of the friendlies that we've been playing, has he? So what makes you think that he's going to be starting on the bench for us?
I can't work him out. Martin, if I was going to plan, if whatever I'm planning for, right, I'll plan it. My holidays, for instance, I'll plan it a year in front. Like when that season finished, I go, right, massive clear out. This is what's happening, boy. We've all been, let's be honest, we all thought the clear out was probably going to be worse than it has been, haven't it? Not as been as bad. Sorry, it's not been as bad as we all thought it was going to be. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's because allegedly Nuno said there are X amount of players I want to keep. Well, we're getting rid of players for fun. We are getting rid of players for fun. I think we've all been told a fucking story. Everyone's bought into it to sell season tickets, and the reality is they want to get as much money out of as many assets as they can. Now, a young kiddie allegedly has agreed to sign for us today.
City run, isn't it?
Yeah, what's his name?
Divine
Mukasa. Yeah, 18-year-old forward, attacking midfielder, can play wide on the left or right. On a season-long loan. So that's a body that's going to come in. But, in an ideal world, we would have all of our ducks in one row. But we have been struggling to get any form of stability from board level. This Kloppum who's come in, he hasn't been with us for 5 minutes and people are expecting him to hit the ground running. Well, it don't work like that. I'm sure there are targets. I'm sure there's more names going to come in. But, we've been lied to. We're not seeing what we were told, mate. It ain't good enough.
I want to know, he's bringing in this young lad from City on loan. How much game time is he going to get? Because he's 18. How much game time is he going to get?
If he's good enough, play him, Stu.
Yeah, but they won't. This is half the fucking problem, isn't it?
He played 15 times for Leicester last year. He got 2 goals and 2 assists.
Right, okay.
So, and that was in a team that got relegated into League One. So, I've seen his highlights, but again, with highlights, you can only go by what you see. Whether he's a good player or not, I don't really know an awful lot about the young lad. But
I agree with you, Martin. If we do play this, Piroe, I don't know. I just think it's bad planning. I really do, and I think even the directors should have said to him at the end of the year, "Who don't you fancy? Let's find someone and get them out early." They've stuck with us for years. All these young players, let's give them a chance, but. Another story. Martin, I know he's brought this Piroe in, right? And he's got the number 9 shirt, so supposedly we're going to play him straight away. Do you think he's going to drop Pablo?
I don't think he's got any choice but to drop Pablo.
We've got no one pressing up front, have we?
Well, Tatty's going to have to be doing that, isn't he? Engels, when he comes in. I can't see Orford being dropped, and I can't see Kante being dropped. I think he's going to start playing a 4-3-3, which means, it's either going to be Tatty up top or it's going to be Piroe coming off the bench. Now, I don't know about Pablo. He had a calf strain. Whether he's going to be available for the Charlton game, I don't know.
I can see him selling Kante, mate. I can see Kante being sold.
He set up 2 goals. He set up 2 goals, that lad, and got a great engine, mate. A great engine.
You're right, Martin. It'll bore my fucking piss as well. But I can see it happening. I really can see it happening.
Look, boys, do you know my worry, right? We were 2-0 up last week, and really, we should have. I know, I think Burnley deserved the draw, by the way, and a lot of people said Burnley deserved the win. Yeah, we know, if we come out and play like that, don't forget we've had 50,000, over 50,000, 55,000, more than any other team anywhere, right? Season tickets sold. If we put out displays like that and Nuno plays this turgid football, to use a word I first heard Chris Akabusi use on a podcast years ago, talking about West Ham turgid football under David Moyes, can you see the fans getting the ump because they're going to think they've been lied to, Stu?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I think they will.
The fans have already got the fucking ump.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they have. You're right, Bups. They have. It's not because it's not like it's just started. It's been the same proxy ages now. You know what I mean? And the game against Burnley was just a continuation of last season. And I'm sorry to say, I think it's going to continue under Nuno. And I think the club will do exactly the same as what they've done last year. They kept Potter on when they should have got shot of him at the end of the season. They give him the summer transfer window. They kept him on into the new season, kept him on. I forget how many games it was they kept him on. And then all of a sudden, they get shot of him and bring Nuno in. And I think it'll be exactly the same like that this season. If we don't start getting results, good results, which put us up near the top somewhere, if we start dropping results, they will get rid of Nuno. I think he will go because it will get so toxic over there that they'll have no choice but to get rid of Nuno. But then who do you bring in? Because once again, you're bringing somebody else in when the season's been going for a couple of months, 2-3 months.
The problem is, Stu, we're going into a new season, right? We've gone down, and like someone said to us before, a lot of the fans are going to come with a target on their back. You know, we only got Charlton, it's only down the road, isn't it? And they're going to try and make a noise. Big credit to the Pompey fans. Yeah, but big credit to them Pompey fans. You know, they come 9,000 and made a lot of noise. We're going to need the fans this year, Martin, because when we do go through the bad times, but when we get to the sticky weather around about Christmas, and we have got a lot of games this year, we need the fans on side, Martin. What can the club do to keep these fans on side?
Cancel their subscription to Pampers and decide to play attacking, entertaining football. Plain and fucking simple, mate. This is the Championship. We are West Ham United. Yeah, we shouldn't be thinking about going into a game and shithousing wins. Let's have it right. You know, if we're supposed to be favourites, let's go out and attack this game. I would more than happily play with 3 centre halves, 5 midfielders, and 2 up top.
Yeah, I said that 3-5-2.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think that's a great shout.
Because you ain't going to see. Over 50,000 people have bought into this story we've been told. 50,000 people. If they turn up for the Charlton game and we're playing pragmatic, defensive, low block shit, hoping the shithouse will win, going 1-0 up and then bringing on defender after defender and that Tintin, Eddie cunt, then, you know, we're in worlds of fucking trouble, haven't we? What's going to happen? The fans are going to get disgruntled. Why? Because we're seeing the same shit that got us relegated. That isn't what they signed up for. Everyone was told we're looking to come back at first time of asking, and that performance against Burnley told me nothing about it. There was nothing in that said we want to come back first time of asking. That told me you play like this, you're more likely going to get relegated this year.
I mean,
yeah, I agree, but look, I think somehow or other we've got to get the fans on side. Sorry, Stu, I do think. Look, let's start getting these first 4 or 5 games out of the season, and let's get behind the club. We all, like we said, 4 or 5 weeks ago, with all the speeches from Kaczynski. I know Martin's rubbing his head. I've got to be positive, Martin, because I do think we've got quality enough to go back up. I don't think this. I think it's a very strong league, a very physical league. But I don't think it's a very skillful league. And I think we should have more enough to get up. And I want the fans on side, Martin. Sorry, Stu.
Yeah, but for the fans to be on side, we have to see something. We need to see that our manager has got a set and that he wants to win these football matches. How often have you seen that since he's been in charge? That's all I'm saying. Until he shows us otherwise, we're going to see the same shit. We're all going to be angry. We're all going to be doing reviews afterwards saying Nuno's doing the same old. How can the fans jump on board and be positive when we're seeing negativity?
Yeah, but Martin, we know his tactics. The board know his tactics. He's not going to change. Look, when he did well at Nottingham Forest, he had people quick, on the break, you know what I mean? And they scored the goals. And Chris Wood turned into a world beater that year. Let's hope that this Piroe, whoever you want to call him, turns into that well-bit. The only difference for me is from the in transition from the back, we've got to move the ball a whole lot quicker. I do think we've got to try and play a lot faster. We've got to get down the channels and we've got to get the ball over. I don't want to see one in the box. I want to see two in the box. And I want to see one of our central midfielders come in late in the box. You know, well, who was it we played last year? I think it was Bournemouth. They had 4 or 5 in the box when they was on attacks. We've got to try and get like that. But if you know you think he's not going to change tack, then you know we're in for another season of the same thing, Stu.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's gone on up there or anything. I mean, as Pups has said before, you know, the board side of it doesn't interest me really to a point, because all I'm interested in is what goes on the field, like it used to be years ago. But the trouble is, what's gone on up there, you've had all that crap come out about fucking our poison perverted little dwarf of an owner. You had Brady running, and just gone. She got herself out the fucking way. It was pretty quick. You had Kretinsky coming out and giving it all the fucking Billy Big Bollocks to spill. Right? Oh, yes, we want to come back up first time, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, as we're a couple of weeks away, Staveley pops up, which totally derails fucking everything that's going on. So, and this is what I've said, if you've got those above arguing and can't get their fucking act together, how is that going to work for the team? It's not, because they are going to see that what's above them isn't working, and it's going to filter down, and it will do. And until we get our shit sorted out behind the scenes, we're not going to get our shit sorted out on the park. Nuno should never have been kept. When we kicked the last ball, when that whistle blew at the end of the season last season, and they come off, Nuno should have been called into the office and they would have said, right, sorry, mate, you took us down, you're gone, you're out. And he should have gone. Not, oh, do you want to stay? No, you're gone. Fuck off, you're out.
Yeah, but we'd have had to pay him off, Stu. We talked about this the other day.
Mate, we had this discussion, didn't we, the other day?
Yeah, but let me just hold on a minute. Like we discussed this, what people get when we got rid of Matt Pellegrini. He got between 10 and 15 million payoff, right? Yeah. You're not going to believe what Potter got for the amount of games he did. When we got rid of Lopetegui, he got between 3.3 and 5 million. And when we got rid of Potter, who'd already just got 12 million off of Chelsea, he got between 5 and 6 million. So with Nuno, it could have cost us anything up to 8 million. In this division, that's a lot of our budget for incoming players, Stu.
Yeah, I know, mate. But at the end of the day, giving away 8 million at the start of the season is better than giving away 50 million after a month into the bloody season, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to get worse, mate. It's not going to get better under Potter unless, like what Pup says, he grows a pair of fucking bollocks and, in Pup's words, gets some testicular fortitude, dumps his Pampers in the fucking bin, wipes his arse with his wet wipes, and fucking stops all this standing on the touchline and this vacant fucking look in his eyes. Do something. Do a bit of in-game management. If something ain't working right after the first 20 minutes, change it. Do something. Have a word with the fucking captain. Call him over and tell him, I want this, do that. Change the fucking game. Sort it out. We need to win games. We've had this argument, mate, loads of time. I'll say argument, it's not. We debate. All last season, you were saying, yeah, that's good, Stu. We've got a point. And I was always saying, no, Dougie, it's not good enough. A point ain't good enough. We need 3 points. You need to amass points. You've got to get 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points. Then if you do only get 1 point, it's not too bad, because you're stacking up the points. You need to stack them points up, especially early on in this league that we're in now. There's far more games than what we used to playing in the league. It's a tougher league. It's not going to be easy to get out of. It's a tougher league.
And Stu, we need 30 wins, roughly 30 wins, and then we're sort of not. If you look back the last few years, we're sort of guaranteed. Right, Martin, what I'm trying to say is,
going under what we've seen, are we going to get 30 wins? No.
Stu, we've seen one game at Burnley. With an unsettled squad.
All last season, Dougie.
Forget last season, that's gone. We've got to concentrate on this season. Yes, we can. We've got to concentrate on this season.
It's the same. It's just rinse, repeat, isn't it?
Yeah, but look, Stu, if he don't change, we said this about Lopetegui. He had no in-game tactics. He couldn't change things. What I don't understand, they'll sit there with their iPads. When they sit high, they've all got these TVs in front of them. I'm sure he's got people sitting watching TVs, and you've even got the commentators going again. But I never understand why they don't see where there's space. I know you see more of the game when you're sitting at certain places. But what I'm trying to say, Martin, if we want the crowd to be our 12th man, like it used to be at Upton Park, yes, we've got to give them something. But I also think the crowd have got to give us 9 or 10 games, Martin, to get into a sort of rhythm and a start for the season. We're not exactly super fit yet. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, Martin?
I understand what you're trying to say, but I don't collude with it.
No.
Why? We played one game.
Yeah, but no. See, that's that. We've played one game this season in the Championship, and what we have seen is exactly the same as what we've already seen from last year. There is nothing telling us that we're going to get 30 wins this year. Nothing.
Easy.
I hope you're
right.
right.
I think we're going to get it. I think we're going to get 30 wins. I do.
So what? You're saying to me that after watching that game against Burnley, what you're saying is that you saw enough in that to tell you that Nuno's going to grow a pair and he's going to decide to start attacking games. Because
we were 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, and he threw it. And he threw the game.
But they all do that. We've had it with Moyes. What I'm trying to say is, Martin, is we've sold all these season tickets. No, but just listen, Martin, we've sold these season tickets. These fans need to give it a little bit of time. I'm asking them for 10 games, 10 home games. Like, come on, get behind the fans. Hopefully, we've got changes coming. We've got different personnel coming in. And let's get with it as a club. We've said, let's be West Ham United again. That's what I'm trying to generate, Mark.
What happens in them 10 home games if we only get 4 points out the 10 home games?
All we can talk about is the Burnley game. We can't talk about any other game apart from the Burnley. And we didn't lose it, Marty.
It's not good enough. It should have been 3 points.
No, it's not good enough. And it doesn't matter who's out on that pitch. Even when Andy Irving was playing for us and Rodriguez was playing there, we all knew that they weren't good enough to play for West Ham and to wear our colours. We knew that they didn't really care. But we got behind them and we supported them. It doesn't matter who comes out on that pitch. We are going to support them because we want to succeed. We want them to succeed. What my problem is that bald Nuno, that Malteser-headed fucking Mongolian spunk trumpet, who cannot seem to manage a football team. Now, you can pixie dust and fairy fart it all day fucking long, but the reality is I can't unsee what I see. If I see us playing defensive, pragmatic football, if I see us taking off strikers and putting on midfielders and defenders, knowing full well that we've got half an hour to go and we're going to get barraged for the next 30 minutes, there's only one thing that's telling me. It's negative. We don't want to win this game. We're trying to hold out for a win. And I've seen it too long to collude with the crap that we need to give them X amount of time because the chances are they could come good. No, I'm trusting what my eyes are seeing last year going into this season. Plain and simple. And the fans shouldn't have to tolerate it. So I'm not going to collude with it.
Martin, we've got to do a show without spunk trumpets and testicular fortitude and Malteser-headed seas. We've got to be able to try and do a show.
That ain't never going to fucking happen.
Look, guys, I've taught these two out of a Tourette's class, right? I'm taking them to. They're trying to get them out of it, right? And they're gonna be speaking very polite soon.
Yeah, but we can both take the piss out of Nuno being bald because we're fucking bald.
whether we like Nuno being there or not, I'm one out, right? I'm one out. But if he's gonna stay, I want to get behind him, and I want to get behind the team. That's all I'm trying to say to you, Stu.
I will get behind the team, mate. I will support the team every time they come out to kick a ball. But the second you start seeing this pragmatic defensive shit, it's the players that are going to get the fucking crap. They are going to take the brunt of it at the end of the day. They will take the brunt of it. I mean, what can the players do? Turn around and say, stick their fingers up to Nuno and say, we're going to play how we want to play.
That's what the squad did under Kirbishley, Stu.
Yeah, I know. But
the squad did in the end.
They won't do it now, mate. They won't do it now, mate, because they're all, well, most of them are money mercenaries, as I like to call them. You know what I mean? And they're prepared to sit on the bench and collect their wages. You know, look at Areola, 100 bags a week, and he's quite happy sitting on the bench. You know, well, mind you, I'd sit on the fucking bench for 100 grand a week.
I don't think he ever got his chance. When he come in under Moyes, didn't he? They said, look, we're going to play Fab one more year. You do the cups, and then you're going to be one the following year. The following year, he kept Fabs in, didn't he? And I thought he was a great goalkeeper, by the way, Fabianski. His distribution wasn't as quick, was it, as Areola's? And we all know, we're all a bit unsure of a Madsen. But what I did like about a Madsen last week, he caught a lot of stuff. A lot of goalkeepers these days punch it, don't they? And they push it out. He did come out and.
I must admit, I did say that to the lads that were around when we were watching it. I said, fuck me, look, a goalkeeper catching the ball. That reminds me of days gone past when they used to come out and catch a ball, and instead of punching it and slapping it. It's, well, I mean, that's to be fair, that's how Solomon got his goal. Because Kante put the cross in, and their goalkeeper palmed the ball out towards Solomon, and he just put it in the back of the net. If their goalkeeper had been brave enough to dive on it and try and catch, we would never have got that second goal. But goalkeepers are not that brave these days like they were years gone by, because once again, they're money mercenaries. I mean, they all pamper themselves. I mean, look at Areola after time. He's come out with all these fancy bloody haircuts and hairdos and what are you doing?
I think it's a generational thing, mate. I do. I think goalkeepers. Mate. No, but Stu, listen, they want goalkeepers, a lot of goalkeepers, to be sweepers. So what they're doing in training, they're spending so much time with keepers trying to get the ball, go out and meet the ball, play good with their feet. They're forgetting that the goalkeeper's main job is to fill Parks.
That's where I say I'm a dinosaur, mate. I'm a dinosaur.
He never dropped the ball, Phil Parks. When they shot him. Yeah, then great. He had massive hands. To me, he looked like the Swedish porn star, didn't he?
Well, he could catch a ball with one hand, just like Pat Jennings.
Pat Jennings. We're going back again.
And they didn't have these big padded bloody suction cupped gloves. They just
look how many goals got given away at the last World Cup, where they were just tapping the ball in front of them and people was getting something. But look, if he's his goalkeeper, he's his goalkeeper. We've said that, right? We've described Mayers. You said Scholes on the left back. We know it's going to be Walker Peters. We know it's probably Diazzia's now said he don't want to come. We know it's now going to be Mav and Kilman. Oh, I've told you before. I want him to grow some big boy pants, Martin, and take the ball out. I want him to run that ball out.
One of them centre halves gets an injury. Who have we got to replace him? Casey or Golombekis? An academy player you're bringing in, which he doesn't want to use. He doesn't really want to use.
He's going to have to, isn't it? If we've got no other backup, he's going to have to.
And if they're not getting game time, they're not going to be match fit for a start. You can't. So this is what I say, mate. We need strength in depth, and I said it before the season even kicked off. Before we started farming all these players out, we haven't got enough strength in depth, and it's getting worse. Like I say, we're looking at between 15 and 20 players are going to be gone by the 1st of September.
I think they let 45 go, Chelsea, because then again, they do buy everybody, don't they? Martin, give me something positive for this season. I don't want no Maltesers. I don't want no big boy pants. I don't want no Tessil of fortitude. Give me something positive to look forward to for this game against the weekend. He's thinking now. Won't take too long.
Potentially see a new signing coming on playing. Yeah, that's it.
But he's about right. He's about right. That is the new signings we bring in. That is the positive. It's hopefully if they get a start and we see them come out and see how they perform, that is a positive. Seeing the new signings play, but it's no good bringing these signings in if you ain't gonna play them. There's no point bringing Piroe or Piroe, whatever his fucking name is, bringing him in, right? Giving him the number 9 shirt, and then you only bring him on when there's 5-10 minutes to go at the end. That's no good. That's no good.
Yeah, I can't.
The guys from Celtic. There's no point bringing him in, and the same again, leaving him on the bench. You got to put him in from the start. It's a simple. You've got to start these players. If you're bringing them in, you're bringing them in for a reason. You're bringing them in to better the squad.
We need to encourage a winning mentality.
Yeah.
And we do it a million times, Martin. Hard work beats talent when talent don't work. If we get a group of players that want to run through the wall for each other, that want to play for each other, and they gel, I've said it before. You don't need the greatest amount of players. The best in the world. You need a team that gels. I remember when the old Republic of Ireland years ago, when Jack Charlton got them together. They was all misfits from all round the leagues, weren't they? They said the FAI of Ireland was find another Irishman, didn't they? They just grabbed, but they played really well when they played at the World Cup. You need teams that want to run through the wall for you. I've said it. Bowen's got to be a lot more stronger and a lot more proactive as captain. And like you said, he's got to go to Nuno. If we see we're loose somewhere and someone's getting attacked and they're doubling up on someone, it should be down to Bowen. When we was talking about Scholes, they was going after Scholes last week. Then Solomon should have dropped back. Someone should have pulled Solomon and go, "Oi, come back! You got to come. That's your job. Come back and help." But it's not rocket science. It ain't rocket science, guys. I've got to say, we want to promote any West Ham fans in this channel. So if you've got anything going on that you got promoting, if you got these two giving lessons on Tourette syndrome, let me know. But we've got a young man who's just starting off his career, and he's over on the 28th of August at 5 p.m. Barge East, Riverlea, Sweetwater Morning, White Post Lane, London. He just signed a contract with a major record label. His name's Harry Mould. And apparently there's going to be loads and loads of West Ham fans there. So if you get a chance, guys, get over there and support him like we will be doing here. Now, gentlemen, I've got to say to you, you've disappointed me, you two here, because I thought I was going to come on after my rant the other day. You two made me swear. I'm with you two too long, you lot. And you've not. You've made me feel a little bit depressed after our chat today. I was so excited about Mr. Joel Piroe, or has he got his little moustache, whatever it's. I just want to be happy. I want to be an happy West Ham fan, and I want to be really excited about this season.
We all want to be happy. We all want to be happy West Ham fans, mate. All of us. Sold in 50,000 that renewed their season tickets. They want to be happy. But are they going to be happy after the fucking game Saturday? That's another question, isn't it?
We've got to try, Stu. We've got to get some atmosphere up. We used to say when we was under the thumb over the bowling, we were the 12th man. I'm not going to say there was all these glory halcyon days, but it were. But when it was full and the place was rocking, and like it was the last game of the season against Man United, that's what we need over there. I don't think you're going to get the acoustics because I think it's wrong. I've got to tell you one thing that you two have bought me. Fuck the boardroom. Fuck everything that's going on in it. I don't care. I'm not talking about it again. If Staveley comes out tomorrow and buys so-and-so shares, if Kretinsky, I'm not going to talk another thing about the boardroom. All I'm interested in is what the boys do on the pitch. I'm sick to death of boardroom politics. I'm sick of it, Martin.
Yeah. No, I'm sick of it, mate. I'm sick of it. All any of us want is for our club to be run the right way.
Yeah.
And the reality, it's been run like a shit show, a circus, for over a decade. So, we're a laughing stock. That's how I feel. I feel we're a laughing stock.
Yeah. I get other people from other clubs messaging me, And they were saying we thought yous was going to be all settled this year, and it was all going to be. I'm not going to say your pixie dust. I'm not using their words anymore. But I just think once we get settled, once we that next Tuesday, I think you said it was Tuesday week when it's due, when the transfer deadline. That's when they've got to get their knuckle down. They've got to get their knuckle down and go, right, this is the squad we're going with. There ain't one till after Christmas. Let's get going, boys. Let's get these fans behind us. Nuno, I'm going to try and play be a bit more proactive. I don't think you're ever going to see him play free up front until you see a cow with wings fly over the moon. I think you're grasping at straws there, Martin. He is never going to play free up front. He's more likely to play 6 at the back than he is to play free up front.
Yeah,
exactly. And how many fans do you think are going to have pixie dust and fairy farts and positivity then, bruv?
I mean, you know, I long for the days when we didn't have social media. Because all we knew about was what went on the park. Simple as that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might have heard little snippets around the ground that something might have been going on, but you never really knew. You know, if you get your information from the back of the current barn or CFAX or teletext. You know, social media, it's been good in one way, but it's been shite in another way. It's opened everybody up to everything, including us. Even like people like us doing this, it's opened us up to.
Yeah, but we're only interested in our channel, Stuart. Yeah. I don't care.
No. That's what I'm on about. That's what I'm on about, mate. But it just opens you up. It opens you up to criticism. You say one wrong thing that people don't like, they're going to get on your case over it. You know, I mean, so it's going to happen, and we've got to accept it. But I don't want to know what's going on above Nuno. I just want him to grow a pair and put a fucking team out that can win a game of football, attack a game of football, and win it convincingly, and not sit back, not go 1 goal, 2 goals up, and then right, that's it. We're not playing no more. We're just going to lock up. No, keep fucking going. Keep fucking going. Get 4 goals. Get 5 goals. Just fucking keep going. Because providing you score more than your opponent, you got your 3 points on the fucking board. Look at Newcastle. I know they didn't win the league that year when God rest his soul, Kevin Keegan was in charge. You know, they were having 3, 4, 5 goals scored against them, but they were scoring 5 or 6 goals and fucking selves. You know, and that's what it's about. It's entertainment as well. That was fucking entertaining that season, watching that. It really was. Watching old Kev go, give it some. I love it if we beat them. I'd love it if we beat them, mate. One of the best interviews I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I
mean, this is the last thing I want to say on Nuno today, yeah? This man has a privileged position to do a job that thousands of people would love to be involved with.
I mean, we'd kill for it, wouldn't we?
He has got the opportunity to do something fantastic at our club just by changing and being a little bit more positive in what he's looking to achieve at the club. And I just can't see it. I can't see it. I want him to succeed because more importantly than anything, it's about our club. This is our club. We're the people that hurt. He don't. He needs to understand, to get us, the 12th man, behind him and the team, he's got to show a little bit. He's got to give. Yeah. And he hasn't been showing the stat, Dougie. And that is what really gets my goat.
Who was it, Dougie, who come out and said, football without the fans doesn't exist?
Jockstein.
Yeah.
Jockstein. Yeah. Now, mate, listen, guys, that's absolutely a fabulous show. Listen, I'm trying my best, guys, to get these 2 positive. Martin's been on one of these today. I don't know what's wrong with him. Like, I'm sure if you met Mr. Nuno, Martin, you would take him out for a drink and a nice dinner and say, shake his head.
I know what the drink can consist of. Boiled piss and shit, mate. I'm telling you.
Boys, absolutely great show as usual. Like, guys, I do want to promote this young man, West Ham fan. Try and get yourselves over there. Harry Mouldy's new single launch, Loco, 28th of August. All the dates are on there. Stu, take us out. Great show, boys. Absolutely loved it.
I hope he's paid for this.
Thousands.
Take care. Stay safe. Stay lucky, my friends. Come on, you irons.